Willis's watchdogs, they are chomping at the bit today. Despite many of their brethren asking Washington for a bailout, unions in this country are upping their campaign contribution. According to the Washington Post, unions make up nearly 40% of individual campaign spending, compared to the less than 20% by corporations. Let's meet our panel. Yu-Dee Chang, he's back. He's a principal at Ace Investments in D.C. Our very own Robert Gray of Fox Business, and Mercedes Colvin, Fox News legal analyst. Yu-Dee, let's start with you. What do you make of this story?
Well, I think it's still pretty early, Jerry. This is only the first ending of a political campaign. Usually, corporations do not contribute to the primaries. Usually, they wait for the general election. So unions, on the other hand, they're fighting every single battle. They only represents about 13% of the workers, but they act as if they are the workers. So I mean, still early, but they're into the battle early.
Mercedes, what do you think?
I think the corporations feel so disenfranchised in this new climate, especially because so many of the individuals that are running these corporations on the board, they're saying, where are you spending our dollars? You're not really going to get anything from it. Look at how you're being taxed. There's all this talk about the corporate taxation to be increased over time. Unions, to the contrary, there are laws right now under this administration it's going to make it a lot easier for individuals to unionize. It's a new law that's out there, and it'll probably be passed in this administration.
Lots of pressure to unionize. Robert Gray, to you, what do you make of this? I think the real worry with this was that corporations would actually donate a lot of money. And guess what? It turns out to be unions. What do you make of that?
Yeah, well, the unions are in early and often here, but it is only, the primary season. Just wait until we get things going. You see the Chamber of Commerce already upping their political spending budget by 50%. So the war chests are amassing, and everyone's going to get in on this game, and we're going to see a lot of cash out there, and will be interesting to see how this pans out. It makes you almost yearn for the European way, where you have to have a much shorter campaign season and get everything out in the open in a short period of time.
Well, now on to one of my favorite stories. It's housing. President Obama's home affordable modification program is going from bad to worse. A recent report from the GAO says the average member of the program owes their mortgage lender more than $1.50 for every dollar their home is worth. Robert?
Yeah, that's the really biggest downside of this, Jerry, is that it's open to only the worst homeowners, if you will, the people in the worst fiscal situation here, not the people who have some equity built up. The majority of these people are underwater. You're seeing more people being turned away from the program than are accepted into it. Only 340,000 so far, well below President Obama's stated 4 million target there. Over a short period of time, those who are staying in compliant, and they're actually doing better than those who work out their loans and other programs, but it's really only the short run right now, Jerry. It remains to be seen if they're able to work back from such a terrible position underwater here, or just walk away.
You talk to people all the time. You're a financial advisor. What are you telling people about this? I mean, HAMP has not worked for people who are in trouble out there. What do they need to be doing?
Yeah, the truth of the matter is, if you can't afford a house, no matter what people does, to help you, you can't own a house. I think the program is just another failed promises. Basically, they were saying that maybe it will affect about 4 million households and turn out to be 300-some thousand. Truth of the matter is, there's 50 or 33% more people got turned down from it. Also, the math of the program, Jerry, is wrong. Basically, it favors a negative home equity, meaning this, okay? If you own 80% right now equity of your home, you actually can't get any help. However, if you're deep under, you can actually get the help, meaning that we're going to take our own money to pay the banks so they could modify the loans of something that will probably default anyways. It doesn't make sense to me.
It doesn't make any sense. Mercedes?
Not at all, and that's exactly right. I mean, part of it is that you're putting a bandage on a hemorrhage. We all know that. I mean, these folks can't afford it, which is the bottom line, and they're walking away because they're hitting the panic button, Jerry. They're saying to themselves, well, we can't afford this house to begin with. We can't sell. Let's just walk away, let the bank take it over, and it's in their hands at that point.
It's really sad because there were so many hopes for that program, and it really hasn't worked out. All right, let's go on to our next story. Does money make you mean? Yes, according to a new study by the Harvard Business Review. The study says the higher the salary, the worse a CEO treats his or her employees. Mercedes, do you agree with this?
I am not surprised, because these corporations are pressure cookers, and especially if you're getting paid so high. These salaries are in the 7 figures, sometimes 8 figures. The pressure's on to that CEO. You better perform, and it really depends on the team that's underneath those CEOs. Can they perform? That's why they expect so much.
It's all about what you can do for the money. Yu-Dee, do you agree? Is mean expensive?
No wonder my wife's so mean to me. She makes too much money. Oops, sorry, just kidding. Probably so. just like Mercedes said, basically you make a lot of money, you probably have a lot more responsibility. And time like this, it's just so much pressure. So it does make you pretty mean.
But, mean can get the job done sometimes, I guess. Robert, what do you think of this?
True. Yeah, it seems a little bit of a specious argument, Jerry. It seems like that's, sort of the expectations that are built up. It sounds great on paper. It also makes you wonder, some of these CEOs that were studied, now how far removed are they from the average worker there? And that may have something to do with it as well. If you're working directly with people, you know how valuable they are, no matter how much they're making.
But, Robert Gray, I think we have to say right here at Fox Business, we have the nicest bosses in the world,
Absolutely.
right? They're smart and they're nice, correct?
Exactly.
Back me up here, buddy.
Of course.
All right, okay. All right. Now I'm getting stuff in my ear from the control room.
I bet.
Let's move
They're
on to the
saying
next
yes too,
story.
right?
All right. LeBron James has confirmed he will end his free agency with an announcement tomorrow night, broadcast live. This is craziness on ESPN. This, as a new study shows, the Big Apple is where the big bucks are for the superstar. Okay, Robert, take this on, buddy. Will MSG be his new home?
I was thinking no. Now people are starting, some other players are coming out tweeting this afternoon saying maybe the stock certainly jumped up in late trading. Maybe that's just a lot of people trying to get in on some action here. I still think probably not, but, big bucks will talk. I'm still kind of shocked that we're going to see this, but then again, Jersey Shore is a hit show too.
Good point. What do you make of this, Mercedes?
I am begging. It's like, please, LeBron, we are not worthy. Come, we beg you. We love you.
All right.
I do
that was a direct appeal.
But we do represent. I represent actually one of the professional athletes in the Knicks. So we're praying that he comes to the Knicks.
Well, there are a lot of people who in New York are very excited. Yu-Dee, where do you want him to go?
I hate to disappoint you guys. This is the first time. I'm not from the New York area. It's going to be tough. I don't know. I think as, these days, winning is not everything. Winning's the only thing, Michael Jordan's got 6 rings already. Kobe's got 5. LeBron's got nothing. So I think to him, maybe winning championships is a little bit more important than just the money. Both Wade and Bosh just announced, right? They signed with Miami. So if you ask me, sorry, guys, he's going to Miami. Salsa over hot dogs.
Salsa over hot dogs. All right, I love that. Those are fighting words, though. You just said he's not a winner. Hello, Robert Gray. Help me out here.
Well, the Knicks even came together with that big study saying, he could make $1 billion over the lifetime. That's a serious statement to say. And they said he would, the next highest, I think, was $700 million at the next city. So that's a pretty big, if he does want the cash, and the Knicks just signed Amari Stoudemire to a nice big fat contract. So it shows they are serious. And don't discount the Nets or the Nets as well. Prokhorov's got some bucks over there, and they're building some good things out in Brooklyn as well. New
York is a huge market, though. I mean, if you want all that celebrity, lots of newspaper, lots of media presence here, if he comes here, he'll be the crown jewel of the Knicks.
All right, this has been a real plea for him to come here, and I want to thank everybody for playing today. Thanks to Yu-Dee, Robert, and of course Mercedes for being here today. We appreciate it.